Hi, my name is Vaishnavi Gundam, and this is my 3D printing presentation project. So first of all, what is 3D printing? 3D printing is an additive process where layers of materials are built up to create three-dimensional figures, typically using a digital 3D model to create structure and depth. And the digital 3D models are usually programs like CAD or any other different software programs to create the structure. So how does a 3D printer work? So the first step to any 3D printing process is the 3D modeling. All models have to be designed in a 3D modeling software. There are many different websites that are used, and for the models that are intricate and detailed, they require the CAD software. So the next step would be slicing the model, and this is because the 3D printers can't conceptualize the idea of 3 dimensions. Slicing the model basically means it slices the model of your object, whatever you're making, into layers in order for the printer to create the final product. It basically just creates an XYZ coordinate. So after the model is sliced, it's sent to the actual 3D printer to start the big printing process. So on the printer itself, there is a heated nozzle that moves back and forth, which dispenses plastic or any material that's being used for the sculpture, and it goes layer by layer to sculpt the model. So after each layer, there's a small fan that's turned on to cool down each specific layer. So depending on the size and detail of the model itself depends on how much time it's going to take. So it can range from an hour to a day to maybe even longer, just depending on how big the actual sculpture is. So some materials used for building the sculpture itself is plastic, carbon fiber filaments, conductive filaments, metal, you can use wood there, and some of them are actually edible, so like chocolate. So next we have locations near me to 3D print, and there weren't a lot. Some of them were Kudo 3D Inc., which is basically a place specifically for 3D printing where there's products and there's machines for you to print as well. You can also go to Staples at home, so you can buy a 3D printer for yourself and make models. And also this place called ABC Imaging. So as you can see, there's not that many places near me that 3D print, but here are just some. So next are my interests, and some things that I learned while researching was the different types of products that you can make from 3D printing, and something that's very vast is inventing products, because it just gives you so much freedom to make whatever you want. Some other things are prosthetic limbs and other body parts like ears or heart. This is a very useful way to go about 3D printing because it can help save lives. Also, vets make 3D printing masks to help a dog recover from severe facial injuries, like in this picture over here. Also, some 3D printers allow people to make buildings and homes. This is also super useful because when there's an emergency and times are critical, people can create emergency shelters for areas after maybe, say, a natural disaster. Also, the potential for new architectural visions can be created that were not a thing before. This would lead to design innovations. Something interesting that I found while I was researching was that in less than 24 hours, a 400 square foot house was constructed in a suburb of Moscow with the 3D printing technology, and I thought that was something really cool and just surprising to see what 3D printing can actually do. So lastly, what surprised me the most was that you can 3D print food. There's actually a chocolate 3D printer, and also many companies have printed other edible creations from ice cream, cookie dough, and surprisingly even hamburger patties. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening and hope you have a good day.